Ready?
It's on.
Alright.
Hey there, welcome to Ben's Plant-Based Kitchen, where I show you the easy, affordable foods I cook, and you should try them too, because it's good for you, your kids, their kids, and the earth.
Hey, I'm Ben. Welcome to my plant-based kitchen. We've got a new setup here today. Got the kitchen behind me, some new lighting, some new audio and video equipment. Alright, so today with the new setup going on, I want to show you something simple that I make on a pretty regular basis, and that is avocado toast. We're going to do avocado toast two ways today. The first way is pretty simple, and it's the way that I would typically make avocado toast for myself at home. The second way is jazzed up a little bit fancier, and it's something you could put together maybe if you're making avocado toast for a group and you want to make something a little bit more special. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the slightly fancier version. Now, this is not fancy by any means, but it is a little bit more of an upgrade from the standard toast with avocado, salt, and pepper. So what we're going to do is start with a leftover red onion. When I cook at home, I will try to make the most out of every ingredient I have. So I put half of this in a salad or something the other day, and I had it in the fridge. I figured I could repurpose it today. So what we're going to do is make a quick pickling liquid with some vinegar, some salt, pepper, sugar, and then we're going to pour that pickling mixture over top of some thinly sliced red onion, and that'll be one of the toppings on our fancy avocado toast. We're also going to add in some roasted pumpkin seeds. You'll see these in the store, sometimes called pepitas as well. We'll top it with that. And we're going to add a little bit of chopped up spinach as well, and that'll be our semi-fancy avocado toast. Again, not too fancy, but a little bit of an upgrade from your standard stuff. We're going to start by putting our bread in the toaster, right? I like to buy bread in bulk when I can, because I'll save money that way. And then I'll keep it in the freezer, and anytime I need to make some toast or something, I'll pull it out of there. My toaster has this fancy frozen toast setting that I'll click, and I just set that up, let it go, and whenever that pops out, it'll be ready. I don't have to worry about it. Cool, so that's going. Now let's start on this pickling liquid we're going to do today. I have a jar that I'm going to end up putting my thinly sliced onion into. I went ahead, and since I don't have a sink right here, I measured a quarter cup of water that I'm going to throw into my pan right now. There we are. I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat on here, and we'll go with a nice, maybe a medium heat. We're not going to boil this, just sort of warm it to the point where it's warm, hottish, I would say. Not boiling, not like lukewarm, but pretty aggressive warm. This makes no sense, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Once it's there, we'll pour it over top of the thinly sliced red onions. All right, so we have our quarter cup of water in there. So we're going to add to that a quarter cup of any vinegar. What I like to do personally is a split between apple cider vinegar and red wine vinegar. The apple cider vinegar is a little bit sweeter. The red wine is a bit more assertive. You'll see pickled onion recipes that call for just apple cider or just red wine vinegar. I like it best when they're blended together. This apple cider vinegar has what's called mother in it, so you'll see some little particles at the bottom. I like to shake it up a bit before I use it so I don't get those particles in the final product. And I will take my quarter cup measure and just fill it halfway with the apple cider. There we are. And we'll fill it up to the top with the red wine vinegar. And it goes. Alright, so half cup of liquid so far, split between the vinegars and the water. We're going to add a few whole peppercorns. Let's see here. Maybe 5, 6, something like that. Doesn't matter too much. A little bit of sugar. When I cook at home, I don't measure everything. With this, I know about how much I need. Go with just a firm pinch there. What I'll do is mix this up and just taste it, and if it's sweet enough, I'll leave it. If I need a little bit more sugar, I'll add it in. What will happen is as you pour this brine over top of the red onion, it'll sort of bring out the sweet notes of the red onion. So this brine doesn't need to be super sweet. You should just taste a little bit of sweetness in there. Okay, I'll keep this handy in case I need more. I'm also going to add in some salt. Just a pinch to start, maybe a quarter teaspoon. All right, at this point, it's heating up. Just going to mix this through. I've actually already got a little bit of liquid evaporating from there, which is good for us. Try this here. Need some sugar for sure. Another pinch in there. That should do it, but we'll mix and taste again. Little bit more. And that should do it. Add a little bit more salt too. So here's my half red onion. Like I said, this is left over from a salad or something I was making the other day. I'll peel off the outside layer. Nobody wants to eat that guy. And I would typically save this for a stock or something, but red onion is not good for stock. It's too strong of a flavor. So we'll throw it in the bin. Check my toast here. Looking nice. Toasty. Now with the red onion, I want to make this pickle as quickly as I can, right? I don't want to waste time here. I want to do maybe 15, 20 minute pickle at the most. So I need these red onions sliced super, super thin. Another thing to keep in mind when you're slicing this is how big of slices you want to put on your toast. If I sliced it just like it is now, I would have these really long strands of red onion. And I don't want that personally. I want it to be a little bit more distributed amongst the pieces of toast. So I'm going to cut it in half first, and then each piece will be, that size instead of that size. So let's do that. Slice here. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and slice all the way through, actually. And when I'm trying to make really thin slices, you have two options, really. You can go really slow and just make them super thin. What I like to do is actually go pretty fast, this here, and then I'll move my fingers back as I am chopping like that, and it'll kind of naturally make thin slices as I go. Okay, these thick ones here I'll just kind of throw off there. No big deal. All right. All right. Nice. I'm going to give this mix one last taste just to make sure it's where I want it. That's nice. Okay. Red onions go into the mason jar. And I will, in all likelihood, have some leftovers here. I definitely will. I'm just making one piece of toast to show you guys today. And this will keep in the fridge for a long time, up to a couple of weeks really. If you want this to last longer, you can cut your onions a bit thicker and they won't break down so quickly in the refrigerator. But I'm going super thin here because I want these ready in 15 or 20 minutes. Pack these down. And typically, I would do this over the sink, but we're going to see how it goes today. Feeling confident. I'm going to pour this over top of my red onions. Aha. And I'll just press these down, make sure they're all submerged in there. Cap it. And there's our pickled red onions. We'll set this to the side for 15 minutes or so and prep the rest of our ingredients for our fancy avocado toast. We're going to take some spinach. I went to the store earlier today. I was going to get some sprouts to put on the fancy avocado toast. They weren't carrying sprouts at the store I was at, but that's fine. Like I said earlier, when I cook at home, I try to maximize what I have in my pantry, in my fridge. I have some spinach anyways, so rather than using sprouts, I'll just use spinach. I wanted something fresh with a bit of crunch. This will do the job. I don't need much here. I'm just making one piece of toast, so a little tiny bit will do. And I will kind of bunch it together like I would with some basil or something like that. Kind of stack it all up, like so. All right, give it a little bit of a roll over, and just chop slices. All right, let's see. Yeah, that looks nice. Cool. We'll set that to the side. So our layers are going to go toast first. Toast. I'm going to mash some avocado. Not going to do that yet though, because I don't want it to start oxidizing and brown or anything. After that, we'll add the spinach, then we'll add some pepitas. Those are the roasted pumpkin seeds. I got these from the store, already roasted. These are unsalted because I'm going to be salting the avocado itself. So I want to be able to control how much salt's actually in the toast at the end. These are roasted, which is really nice. It's delicious. If you have raw pumpkin seeds, then you can toast them yourself if you can ever get the package open. There we go. Very yummy. I'll put a little sprinkling of those on the toast. What else am I putting on these? Oh, the onions. That's it, huh? At this point, our onions are probably ready to go. Let's give them a try here. Very good. Got my avocado here. Grocery store prices on avocados vary like crazy. I see them at the lowest, maybe 80 cents, and at the high mark, $2 or $2.50. I got these from Costco. It was a bag of 8 for $8. Pretty much anytime I see avocados for $1 or less, I'll just buy a bunch of them. So I got an 8-pack here. What I like to do is buy them totally unripe, so they're like rock solid. I'll leave maybe 4 of them out at room temperature, so they'll start to ripen quickly. The other 4, I'll put in the fridge. Once the ones that are out at room temperature have ripened,
I'll start to use them, and if I'm not going to use them immediately, I'll put those in the fridge. They'll stay in the fridge for like a week, and whenever I need a ripe avocado, I'll grab one. Meanwhile, the 4 that have been in the fridge the whole time are ripening very slowly, so by the time I use the ones that are ripe, the ones that weren't ripe will be ready to go.
If that makes sense.
cool. Avocado, you've probably seen this done a million times. I like to just move the avocado around the knife, like so. Split like there. Nice and firm with some confidence. There we go. Twist, pits out. Make sure you drop it on the floor. I'm going to be using both halves of this avocado today. If I wasn't, the best way to store avocados is to take a plate, just a flat plate, press your avocado down on the plate, and the contact between the plate and the avocado will prevent it from browning in the fridge because the air won't get into it. People say to like put olive oil on it or just like submerge it in water, all this crazy stuff. You don't need to do that. Just press it flat on a plate and it won't oxidize so much. I've done this with a half avocado and it'll stay in the fridge pretty well for 3 to 4 days. Do not ever slice an avocado with a sharp knife. You'll cut straight through and you'll cut your finger. It's no good. What I like to do is take my spoon and I will just use the back of the spoon because it's plenty sharp to cut this super soft avocado, and just cut into it like so. And I want this to be really fine because I'm going to mash it into the bread anyways. So I'll just kind of cut it up. There we are. Alright, now scoop onto my toast. Press it in a little bit. Alright. On next, we'll throw some of our spinach. Whoop. Scratch that. Forgot to season. A little bit of pepper. I like to salt and pepper. Alright. Spinach on there. Still want to see the avocado peeking through. Some of our roasted pumpkin seeds. These are nice for texture. Also have a good little protein boost. And they're just delicious. And lastly, we've got our pickled red onions. I like these quite a bit, so I'll add a decent bit. Alright, that's looking good to me. Semi-fancy avocado toast done. Fancy avocado toast is done. I recommend eating immediately, but I have more avocado toast to make, so let's make it. This next one is very simple. Basically, as long as it takes to toast bread, is as long as it takes to make this version. It's my more day-to-day avocado toast. Let's jump right in. Got my avocado here. Same thing as before. Back of the spoon, right in here. Alright. On it goes. Okay. Alright, now that the avocado is mashed and on there, we're going to top it with some simple everyday stuff that I typically have around. Salt and pepper, some thinly sliced tomato, hemp seeds for a little bit of protein nutrition, and some balsamic vinegar. I love balsamic vinegar. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper. I like seasoning by hand because I can sort of see how much salt I need, just enough to barely coat the avocado. A couple cracks of black pepper. I love black pepper, so I'm pretty aggressive with that, but you do you. I'm going to go ahead, we'll go with our sliced tomato. Use a sharp knife for sliced tomato. If you don't have a sharp knife, use a serrated blade. A couple of slices here, that should be plenty. Alright, 1 slice. I'll just go with 2. There we are. I do want to season my tomatoes a little bit as well. They need a bit of salt. This is balsamic. I love balsamic vinegar pretty much as a little dressing for almost any vegetable. There we go. And some hemp seeds sprinkled over top. Hemp seeds are a really nice complete protein source. They've got all sorts of nutritional benefits. Not the most beautiful thing in the world. You know, you make your call on that. But nutritious, it's a really nice breakfast, a good snack, and I love it. So this is the everyday avocado toast. Let me clean up a little bit, and then we'll try everything out. Okay, now that both are finished, we're going to give them a taste, and we're also going to do a brand new feature of this show called the EAT score. That's EAT, ease, affordability, and taste. Because when I'm cooking, those are the three things I am looking for. First off, affordability-wise, this piece of the simple avocado toast breaks down to $1.57. That's according to receipts from my grocery stores. Obviously, it depends on where you're shopping. I try to buy in bulk as much as possible. I mentioned the avocado trick. I mentioned buying bread and putting it in the freezer. Those things are all going to cut my price down over time. The slightly fancier avocado toast comes to a price of $1.65. So, the slightly fancier cost, 8 cents more? No big deal, really. Check the video description below for an itemized cost breakdown for each piece of avocado toast. You'll find that breakdown in all of my videos from here on out. Okay, for ease, 1 to 5, I would rate both of these, This one here, I'm going to go with a 5. Very easy. You get the toast going. While it's toasting, mash up an avocado, slice a tomato, throw some hemp seeds on there, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, and it's done. Doesn't get much easier than that. This one here, I'm going to give a 4 just because you do have to go through the step of pickling the red onion. It's not really hard, but it does take a little bit of extra effort. So 4, maybe 4.5. Affordability. I would have to rate both of these as a 5. As a breakfast, a snack, even a lunch or part of a lunch, spending about $1.50 or $1.60, I think is a pretty good deal. So I'll go with a 5 on affordability. Now, taste. Let's taste some avocado toast. Go with the simple one first. It's one of my favorite breakfasts. It gets me going at the start of the day. I'm not a big, heavy breakfast guy, so I like that this has a little bit of something to it, but it's not overwhelming in terms of calories or anything like that. That's really, really good. Crunchy toast. I didn't mention I like my toast really well done for avo toast, because once that avocado goes on there, it's going to start to soften the toast a bit. So I like my toast to be almost like a cracker. The acidity of the tomatoes cuts through the fattiness of the avocado. Hemp seeds are a little bit of texture on there, which is nice, a little bit of crunch, and also bring a lot of nutrition to the table. And what am I missing? Oh, balsamic vinegar. I love balsamic vinegar. You could use whatever vinegar you wanted, but balsamic to me, especially when using it just by itself, is the superior vinegar. So much flavor. It's got a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sour. It's got really deep, deep flavor, and it's just delicious. So my score for taste on the simple avocado, am I allowed to give it a 5?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can't give it a 5 because it's avocado toast, and if I give it a 5, I'm setting that as the bar of the absolute most delicious stuff I've ever eaten. And there's things I've eaten that are more delicious than this. So we'll go with like a 4, 3.5-ish. I'm gonna go 4. I'm really into it. It's delicious. Simple, fresh, yummy, nutritious. I love it. Let's try the slightly fancier one. See how that is. Got the avocado, spinach, pepitas, pickled red onion, salt, pepper. This is a little bit more of a meal with the pepitas on there. On the fancier one, I do like the spinach. It's a nice, fresh, crunchy element to the dish. The pepitas, the toasted pumpkin seeds, are awesome. I just love those as an ingredient in general for texture and a little bit of protein as well. Those pickled red onions are awesome. It's up to you if you want to spend the extra 20 minutes to make them or not. I love making them. I have them in the fridge a lot. They stay for a week or two, and they're nice to put on top of all sorts of things. So if you have some in the fridge already, throw them on there. Makes it a little bit fancier, and yeah, it's delicious. Overall taste score on this one, I'd probably go with like a 3.5. Reason being for me, I just love balsamic vinegar a lot, probably too much. So that gives this one the edge for me. So overall eat score on the simple avocado toast was 5 for ease, 5 for affordability, and what, a 4 for taste? That gives it a solid 14. Pretty great. Over here on the fancy side, we had a 4 for ease, 5 for affordability, and a 3.5 for taste. So in total, that comes to a 12.5 each score. So overall, we have a 14 versus 12.5. This one's easier, it's super tasty. This is why it's my everyday go-to avocado toast. Now, this one's great as well. It's a little bit fancier. Impress your friends, you do you. I need to go eat some avocado toast. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the new setup. Any suggestions you have for improvements are definitely welcome. I'll try to work on the video and audio quality as I move week by week. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, drop a comment. If you hated the video, give it a like, drop a really hateful comment, that'd be great. If you want to, I'll put some Instagram links up on here. You can follow me on there. If you make this stuff, tag me. I do have a Patreon as well. Here's the link to that, maybe right here. Big thanks to all my supporters on Patreon already. Couldn't make this stuff without you guys. All right, enjoy. Go make some avocado toast. Happy cooking.